stands because John Thompson is heading for the exit.
I'm like, wow. You know, he's walking out.
He will leave the building and he will turn the coaching duties over.
He explained to us that sometimes you just have to take a stance.
John Thompson has made his statement. As he heads out, the basketball game is underway.
On January 14, 1989, Georgetown head basketball coach John Thompson walked off the court to protest Proposition 42. This new NCAA rule would have prevented high school athletes from receiving any scholarship aid if they didn't meet certain benchmarks, like a 700 on the SAT.
Pop felt that the intent was good, but to say that everyone has to attain this, it would be discriminating an awful lot of people that didn't have the same opportunity, and he just knew it was wrong.
Had this been in existence when I started into school, that I would not have been provided with an opportunity to get a college education myself.
Thompson's concern came from the fact that he always considered himself primarily a teacher, more than a coach.
I just remember vividly as a little one, when I went to practice and then when I got older and played for him, he would use practice time to talk about social issues and then come back to practice.
He wanted to advance his people, and the best way to get ahead is to empower yourself. He always talked about the deflated basketball. At some point, that basketball is going to stop bouncing.
Coach John Thompson of Georgetown University walked off the court in protest of a new NCAA scholarship eligibility rule.
What John did, I admire, and I support him wholeheartedly.
I just think if anybody walks off the court as a coach, maybe he shouldn't be allowed to coach anymore.
It definitely was national news. He shed light onto something that light needed to be shed on.
I'm trying to appeal to reasonable people that a mistake has been made. Hopefully I can go back to coaching and we all live happily ever after, but I will never, ever agree that we should just go on with life as usual.
And I think when Pop and Father Healy, the president of the university at the time, flew out to Indianapolis and met with the NCAA and educated them, they, I think, thought about it and realized, you know what, we've got to make an amendment to this rule.
John Thompson has ended his two-game boycott against the new NCAA rule, a rule he says is being reevaluated.
In January of 1990, almost a year to the day after the walkout, Proposition 42 was officially rescinded. John Thompson beat the NCAA and set an example that today's sports activists still follow.
What Coach Thompson did back then definitely has an impact on what people are doing now. It shows that everyone has a platform.
John Thompson, he's a guy you have to appreciate, especially for me and other young black African-American guys. He's one of the guys who paved the way for so many of us.
I remember the last 2 weeks that he was alive. We were explaining to him what was going on in the world with Black Lives Matter, the fact that the NBA was shutting down.
Our focus today cannot be on basketball.
He was like, really? I think he would be extremely proud of the young men and women that are using their voice for change, to take a stance for things that are perceived to be unjust.